is this crap?
What the hell is this?
This is horrible.
Oh, hell no!
Oh my god!
Hey, wait a minute, bitch! What is this shit?
What this is?
What are you doing?
What is this? What is this? Wow, dude!
Oh my god.
Is this what you wanted?
Oh god, that'd be horrible.
You cannot be serious! What are you doing?
Oh my god, this is so sad.
What is wrong with you people? Huh?
What the hell? Oh my god, no way, yeah.
Oh my god!
Are you serious right now?
Thanks, Konami.
Not many games can conjure up strong feelings of nostalgia, quite like Contra does. Konami got so many things right with this game in their first try that it was hard to imagine that they wouldn't continue to build on this winning formula in the future. Sadly, these days it really seems as though this beloved franchise has lost its way. But what if I told you that all these years we've actually never stopped getting incredible Contra games? What if I told you that some of the best Contra games out there aren't even Contra games at all? Now I know what you're thinking. What's this guy's problem? What's he talking about? I get it. Just hang in there, guys. It will all make sense in a few minutes, I promise. Because today, we're going to take a look at 10 of the best games that ease the pain of being a Contra fan. We've got lots to talk about, so come with me and let's begin, shall we?
Number 10.
Now here is a game that wears its inspirations proudly on its sleeve. Blazing Chrome aims to keep things fresh but familiar for classic Contra fans. The game controls the way you'd expect it to, but also allows the player weapon slots, unlockable characters, and crucially, the ability to dodge roll. You can also team up with a friend to play through missions via couch co-op. So, you've got everything you need here to get your Contra itch scratched. Now you're probably waiting for the other shoe to drop. So here it comes. This game pretty much demands twitch reflexes. We're talking old school Contra difficulty here. But things have been amped up considerably. The game is probably twice as fast as vanilla Contra. Enemies are tanky, but your squishy character dies in a single hit. So you really need to have your wits about you and be ready to avoid attacks at all times. Thankfully, you do not have limited credits here, so your frustration levels won't flare up nearly as much as they did in the older games. Nearly. It doesn't matter how good you think you are gonna get your butt handed to you time and time and time again. Still, with action-packed gameplay, amazing sound and lighting effects, and an innovative power-up system, this is an incredible modern tribute and love letter to the Contra series that more than deserves its place in your collection.
Number 9.
What's that? A Super Nintendo game from 1995 made it onto a top 10 gaming list in 2022?
You're goddamn right.
What you've got here is a solid run-and-gun action game with fantastic sound and lighting effects. as well as unique mechanics. There's so much depth to the combat here that it can be a little overwhelming to keep track of all your abilities. As soon as the game starts, you have access to your standard rifle, a grappling hook, a Tesla cannon that can petrify enemies, full-screen AoE bombs, and the ability to roll up into a Metroid-esque ball to drop mines. All before you even get anywhere near any power-ups. And speaking of power-ups, can I just say that this game probably offers some of the best guns you'll ever find in a contra-like? Why choose between a laser gun and a rocket launcher when you can have both at the same time? Or how about a plasma cannon that can actually destroy enemies around corners, under platforms below you, or off-screen? You're pretty much free to build whatever kind of weapon you like here, as long as you make sure to grab the required power-ups to create your own personal death cannon to suit your destructive desires. And there's no need to worry if you die, because you keep whatever gun you had no matter how many times you lose a life, even after getting a game over. Now you might think that this abundance of firepower might make the game too easy, but trust me, this game will keep you on your toes with aggressive enemies and challenging platforming sections that will test your skills and timing. Now, some people actually prefer the original Turrican game due to the larger levels and disliking the grappling hook. Personally, I think both games are great for different reasons. And to be honest, I feel the entire Turrican series is really underrated. And trust me, if you try one of these games, I'm sure you'd agree.
Number 8.
Ever wondered what happens when you mix Contra, Mega Man, and cheesy anime humor? Well, this is where you get to find out. Azure Striker Gunvolt 2 allows you to select from 2 different characters, each with unique playstyles and NPC interactions. The game is pretty story-heavy, as you'd expect, with serious and sometimes silly exposition being delivered by excellently voice-acted characters fairly regularly.
まあ、GV ったらいつも可愛い子ばっかり助けるんだから。
そうかな。
そうだよ。オーカとかシャオの時だって。
Unlike most of the titles we've talked about thus far, style is the name of the game here. You'll build up a combo meter with attacks that are as dazzling as they are destructive, and you'll bank your score if you manage to reach a checkpoint without taking too much damage. You can also avoid incoming fire using dashing or an energy shield to enhance your abilities even further. The game also features progression in that you can equip different skills and items, particularly after defeating a boss. Defeating regular enemies yields raw materials, and the better you play, the better rewards and resources you'll receive at the end of each mission. It's not immediately clear what everything is, but eventually you'll come to realize that you can use these resources for crafting items, which you can equip to augment your abilities, or you can trade and sell them to save up for better items. Now you are going to have to grind for a fair amount of time before you can get your hands on the good stuff. But with tight controls, eye candy special attacks, and jealous weaponized waifus constantly fighting for your attention, you are going to get hooked. You even have lolis giving you death threats. I mean, come on now guys. Isn't that what having fun is all about?
Number 7.
Hardcore. Uprising.
Now when you hear the name Arc System Works, You probably think of amazing 2D fighting games like Guilty Gear, BlazBlue, and Fighter Z. But I bet you didn't know that these guys also made one of the best Contra games as well. And not just a game that takes inspiration from Contra either, but an actual prequel to the very first game we all know and love. Set in the same universe about 20 years before the original, you play as either Bahamut or Crystal and gear up to take on an oppressive military group known as the Commonwealth. Now when it comes to preserving that classic Contra feel while refining the gameplay, I don't know if any other title does it better than this one. The controls will feel instantly familiar to you, but there are some really nice new surprises in store for series veterans here. Not only do we get stationary aiming and double jumping, you can now also strafe and dash in mid-air. Power-ups can also be stacked to enhance your weapons considerably, and you now have 2 weapon slots which you can switch between at any time. And if that wasn't enough, you also have multiple unlockable characters to choose from. Now this wouldn't be a Contra game if it didn't have punishing difficulty, so you are going to get destroyed despite all the shiny new additions, especially at first. But that's where this game turns the corner, where most other similar titles fall short. The game features one of the most in-depth progression systems you'll ever see in a run-and-gun title. At the end of each mission, your score gets converted into currency, which you can use to improve your character and augment your abilities. You can increase your amount of lives per credits, enlarge your health meter, increase the damage output of weapons, and add even more movement abilities to your arsenal. And if you don't like the effects of the upgrades you purchase, you can simply disable them and they'll remain unlocked if you ever change your mind. But if you are someone who just prefers the pain and suffering of the original Contra, this game features a more straightforward but unforgiving arcade mode that will really test even the best players. With beautiful stages and animation, epic boss fights, an in-depth upgrade system, and action-packed set pieces that will keep you at the edge of your seat and wanting more. This game is a must-play. It really is a crime that not many people know about it, and that it never saw a release on PC or modern consoles. Especially when you consider how much Arc System Works got right on their first attempt at a game like this.
Easy.
Number 6.
Hunt down.
After countless wars, the world has torn itself apart, and the downfall of society is in full swing. Severe rioting has broken out in cities everywhere, and police are buckling under the pressure of gang activity.
They got no respect for the colors. Kill them all!
Which has led to the formation of a deadly bounty hunter group.
I was born ready.
In Huntdown, you play a member of this elite team of mercenaries. And it's up to you to clean up the streets once and for all. Now, other than its cover mechanic, Huntdown is a fairly straightforward run-and-gun game that isn't really trying to be the most deep or complex title. And the graphics aren't gonna blow anyone away, but don't be fooled by that. Where this game delivers is with its satisfying gameplay, excellent setting, and its fantastic sound design.
Engage.
There are multiple difficulty settings to suit your skill level, as well as an arcade mode for those who want a real challenge. After selecting your preferred mode of play, you're given a list of gang leaders to take out as you work through each city district. You have a wide array of weapons to choose from, all of which feel punchy and impactful. And they range from fully automatic to shotguns to melee weapons and even grenades too.
Catch!
The game features stunning voice acting to move the story along, and it really feels like you're playing through an 80s action B-movie.
Be alert!
Do you feel lucky? Well, do ya?
If that sounds like your cup of tea, then you are going to be in for a treat playing this game. Huntdown is a pulse-pounding thrill ride from start to finish that you can enjoy solo or with a friend. It's a lot more fun than it looks and is definitely not to be missed.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Bounty collected.
So there we have it, boys. Part 1 of my top 10 games that ease the pain of being a Contra fan. But we're not done yet, so be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Share it with your friends if you think they might appreciate it.
You don't have any friends. Nobody likes you. How do you know?
And subscribe so you don't miss out on part 2, which I will be releasing very soon. Until then, thanks for hanging out, look after yourself, and I can't wait to see you again next time.